Welcome everybody, this is Alan with Daily Armour God. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're all doing well. This is my Finishing the Bible 1 Year project, and we are on day 246. 246, we're in the book of Ezra, and then Nehemiah is after this. Technically though, I found out that Ezra and Nehemiah used to be all one book. I thought that was interesting. So it used to be one long book, apparently. Yeah, Ezra. So basically, we learned, so far that Cyrus let some of the Jews, well, no, not some, but let all Jews or Israelites go back home to Jerusalem to rebuild the temple, if they so desire. Not all went, to my understanding. Some stayed where they were in captivity, which I have no idea why you would stay. I mean, you're captives. Why would you stay in your place of captivity? Anyway, let's just continue straight away into Ezra 4, verse 1. Now when the adversaries of Judah and Benjamin heard that the children of the captivity builded the temple unto the Lord, or Jehovah, God, Elohim of Israel. So when it's all caps, it's Jehovah. When it's capital G-O-D, it's Elohim, Elohim. So Jehovah, Elohim of Israel. Then they came to Zerubbabel and to the chief of the fathers, and said to them, Let us build with you, for we seek your Elohim as ye do, and we do sacrifice unto him since the days of Esarhaddon, king of Ashur, which brought us up hither. But Zerubbabel and Jeshua and the rest of the chief of the fathers of Israel said unto them, Ye have nothing to do with us to build an house unto our Elohim, but we ourselves together will build unto Jehovah, Elohim of Israel, as King Cyrus, the king of Persia, hath commanded us. Then the people of the land weakened the hands of the people of Judah, and they troubled them in the building, and hired counselors against them to frustrate their purpose all the days of Cyrus, king of Persia, even to the reign of Darius, king of Persia. And in the reign of Ahasuerus, in the beginning of his reign, wrote they unto him an accusation against the inhabitants of Judah and Jerusalem. And in the days of Artaxerxes wrote Bishlam, Mithridah, Tabeel, and the rest of their companions unto Artaxerxes, king of Persia, and the writing of the letter was written in the Syrian tongue and interpreted in the Syrian tongue. Rehum the chancellor and Shimshai the scribe wrote a letter against Jerusalem to Artaxerxes, the king in this sort. Then wrote Rehum the chancellor and Shimshai the scribe and the rest of their companions, the Danites, the Aphrasarchites, excuse my pronunciation, the Tarpolites, the Apharsites, the Archivites, the Babylonians, the Susanchites, the Dehavites, and the Elamites. Lots of ites. And the rest of the nations whom the great and noble Asnapper brought over and set in the cities of Samaria, and the rest that are on this side of the river, and at such a time. This is the copy of the letter that they sent unto him, even unto Artaxerxes the king, thy servants of the men on this side of the river, and at such a time. Be it known unto the king that the Jews which came up from thee to us are come unto Jerusalem, building a rebellious and a bad city, and they have set up walls thereof, and joined to the foundations. Oh, so they're lying because they want to stop the construction. Which that doesn't make sense. If they're living in Jerusalem, wouldn't they want the city fortified themselves? I don't know. I guess we'll find out, maybe. Be it known unto the king that if this city be builded and the walls set up again, then will they not pay toll, tribute, and custom, and so shalt thou damage the revenue of the kings. And because we have maintenance from the king's palace, and it was not meet for us to see the king's dishonor, therefore we have sent and certified the king, that search may be made in the book of the records of thy fathers. So shalt thou find in the book of the records, and know that this city is a rebellious city, and hurtful unto kings and provinces, and that they have moved sedition within the same of old time, for which cause was this city destroyed. We certify the king that if the city be built again, and the walls thereof set up, by this means thou shalt have no portion on this side of the river. Then sent the king an answer unto Rehum the chancellor, and to Shimshai the scribe, and to the rest of their companions that dwell in Samaria, and unto the rest beyond the river, Peace, and at such a time. The letter which ye sent unto us hath been plainly read before me, and I commanded, and search hath been made, and it is found that this city of old time hath made insurrection against kings, and that rebellion and sedition have been made therein. There have been mighty kings also over Jerusalem, which have ruled over all countries. Beyond the river, and toll, tribute, and custom was paid unto them. Give ye now commandment to cause these men to cease, and that this city be not builded until another commandment shall be given from me. Take heed now that ye fail not to do this. Why should damage grow to the hurt of the kings? Now when the copy of the king Cyrus' letter was read before Rehum and Shimshai the scribe and their companions, they went up in haste to Jerusalem unto the Jews, and made them to cease by force and power. Okay, I guess they weren't in Jerusalem. They were somewhere else. Samaria, it says. Then ceased the work of the house of Elohim which is at Jerusalem, so it ceased unto the 2nd year of the reign of Darius king of Persia. Chapter 5, verse 1. Then the prophets Haggai, the prophet, and Zechariah the son of Iddo prophesied unto the Jews that were in Judah and Jerusalem, in the name of Elohim of Israel, even unto them. Then rose up Zerubbabel the son of Shealtiel, and Jeshua the son of Jozadak, and began to build the house of Elohim which is at Jerusalem, and with them that were prophets of Elohim helping them. The same time came to them Tatnai, governor on this side of the river, and Shethar-bonzai, and their companions, and said thus unto them, Who hath commanded you to build this house, and to make up this wall? Then said we unto them after this manner, What are the names of the men that make this building? But the eye of their Elohim was upon the elders of the Jews, that they could not cause them to cease, till the matter came to Darius, and then they returned answer by letter concerning the matter. The copy of the letter that Tatnai, governor on this side of the river, and Shethar-bonzai, and his companions, the Apharsachites, which were on this side of the river, sent unto Darius the king, they sent a letter unto him, wherein was written thus, Unto Darius the king all peace. Be it known unto the king that we went into the province of Judea, to the house of the great Elohim, which is builded with great stones, and timber is laid in the walls, and this work goeth fast on, and prospereth in their hands. Then asked we those elders, and said unto them thus, Who commanded you to build this house, and to make up these walls? We asked their names also to certify thee, that we might write the names of the men that were the chief of them. And thus they returned us answering, saying, We are the servants of the Elohim of heaven and earth, and build the house that was builded these many years ago, which a great king of Israel builded and set up. But after that our fathers had provoked the Elohim of heaven unto wrath, and he gave them into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, the Chaldean, who destroyed this house and carried the people away into Babylon. But in the 1st year of Cyrus, the king of Babylon, the same king Cyrus made a decree to build this house of Elohim. And the vessels also of gold and silver of the house of Elohim, which Nebuchadnezzar took out of the temple that was in Jerusalem, and brought them into the temple of Babylon. Those did Cyrus the king take out of the temple of Babylon, and they were delivered unto one whose name was Sheshbazzar, whom he had made governor. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a really good point, now that I think about it. Cyrus commanded that the Jews return back to Jerusalem and to rebuild the temple. So you'd think Cyrus, who was king of Persia, would have record of that, or his orders still stood, but I guess not. We'll find out. And said unto them, Take these vessels, go, carry them into the temple that is in Jerusalem, and let the house of Elohim be builded in his place. Then came the same Sheshbazzar, and laid the foundation of the house of Elohim which is in Jerusalem, and since that time even until now hath it been building, and yet it is not finished. Now therefore, if it seem good to the king, let there be search made in the king's treasure house, which is there at Babylon, whether it be so that a decree was made of Cyrus the king to build this house of Elohim at Jerusalem, and let the king send his pleasure to us concerning this matter. Okay. Now let's see. Oh yeah, it says right there, Darius finds Cyrus's decree. Ezra 6, verse 1. Then Darius the king made a decree, And search was made in the house of the rolls where the treasures were laid up in Babylon. And there was found at Achmetha, in the palace that is in the province of the Medes, a roll, and therein was a record thus written. In the first year of Cyrus, the king of the same Cyrus, the king made a decree concerning the house of Elohim at Jerusalem. Let the house be builded, the place where they offered sacrifices, and let the foundations thereof be strongly laid, the height thereof 80 cubits, and the breadth thereof 80 cubits, with 3 rows of great stone, and a row of new timber, and let the expenses be given out to the king's house. And also let the golden and silver vessels of the house of Elohim, which Nebuchadnezzar took forth out of the temple which is at Jerusalem, and brought unto Babylon, be restored and brought again unto the temple which is at Jerusalem, every one to his place, and place them in the house of Elohim. Now therefore Tattenai, governor beyond the river, Shethar-bonzai, and your companions the Apharachites, which are beyond the river, be ye far from thence. Let the work of this house of Elohim alone, let the governor of the Jews and the elders of the Jews build this house of Elohim in his place. Moreover, I make a decree, what ye shall do to the elders of these Jews for the building of this house of Elohim, that the king's goods, even the tribute beyond the river, forthwith expenses be given unto these men, that they be not hindered. And that which they have need of, both young bullocks, rams, and lambs, for the burnt offerings of the Elohim of heaven, wheat, salt, wine, and oil, according to the appointment of the priests which are at Jerusalem. Let it be given them day by day without fail, that they may offer sacrifices of sweet savors unto the Elohim of heaven, and pray for the life of the king and his sons. Also I have made a decree that whosoever shall alter this word, let timber be pulled down from his house and being set up, and let him be hanged thereon, and let his house be made a dunghill for this. And the Elohim that hath caused his name to dwell there, destroy all kings and people that shall put to their hand to alter and to destroy this house of Elohim which is at Jerusalem. I, Darius, have made a decree, let it be done with speed. Then Tattenai, governor on this side of the river, Shethar-bonzai, and their companions, according to that which Darius the king had sent, so they did speedily. And the elders of the Jews builded, and they prospered through the prophesying of Haggai the prophet and Zechariah son of Iddo. And they builded and finished it according to the commandment of Elohim of Israel, and according to the commandments of Cyrus and Darius and Artaxerxes king of Persia. And this house was finished on the 3rd day of the month Adar, which was in the 6th year of the reign of Darius the king. The children of Israel, the priests and the Levites, and the rest of the children of the captivity kept the dedication of this house of Elohim with joy, and offered at the dedication of this house of Elohim 100 bullocks, 200 rams, 400 lambs, and for a sin offering for all Israel 12 he-goats according to the number of the tribes of Israel. And they set the priests in their divisions and the Levites in their courses for the service of Elohim which is at Jerusalem, as it is written in the book of Moses. And the children of the captivity kept the Passover upon the 14th day of the 1st month. For the priests and the Levites were purified together, all of them were pure, and killed the Passover for all the children of the captivity, and for their brethren the priests, and for themselves. And the children of Israel which were come again out of captivity, and all such as had separated themselves unto them from the filthiness of the heathen of the land, to seek the Jehovah Elohim of Israel, did eat, and kept the feast of unleavened bread 7 days with joy, for Jehovah had made them joyful, and turned the heart of the king of Assyria unto them, to strengthen their hands in the work of the house of Elohim, the Elohim of Israel. And Ezra 7, verse 1. Now after these things, in the reign of Artaxerxes king of Persia, Ezra the son of Sariah, the son of Azariah, the son of Hilkiah, the son of Shalom, the son of Zadok, the son of Ahitub, the son of Amari, the son of Azariah, the son of Meroth, the son of Zariah, the son of Uzi, the son of Buki, the son of Abushua, the son of Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron of the chief priest. This Ezra went up from Babylon, and he was ready a scribe in the law of Moses, which Jehovah Elohim of Israel had given. And the king granted him all his requests according to the hand of Jehovah his Elohim upon him. And there went up some of the children of Israel, and of the priests and the Levites and the singers and the porters and the Nethinims unto Jerusalem in the 7th year of Artaxerxes the king. And he came to Jerusalem in the 5th month, which was in the 7th year of the king. For upon the 1st day of the 1st month began he to go up from Babylon, and on the 1st day of the 5th month came he to Jerusalem, according to the good hand of his Elohim upon him. For Ezra had prepared his heart to seek the law of Jehovah, and to do it, and to teach in Israel statutes and judgments. Now this is the copy of the letter that the king Artaxerxes gave unto Ezra the priest, the scribe, even the scribe, of the words of the commandments of Jehovah and of his statutes to Israel. Artaxerxes, king of kings, unto Ezra of the priest, a scribe of the law of the Elohim of heaven, perfect peace, and at such a time I make a decree that all they of the people of Israel and of his priests the Levites in my realm, which are minded of their own free will to go up to Jerusalem, go with thee. For as much as thou art sent of the king and of the 7 counselors to inquire concerning Judah and Jerusalem, according to the law of thy Elohim, which is in thy hand, and to carry the silver and gold, which the king and his counselors have freely offered, unto the Elohim of Israel, whose habitation is in Jerusalem. And all the silver and gold that thou canst find in all the province of Babylon, with the freewill offering of the people and of the priests offering willingly for the house of their Elohim, which is in Jerusalem. That thou mayest buy speedily with this money bullocks, rams, lambs, with their meat offerings and their drink offerings, offer them upon the altar of the house of your Elohim, which is in Jerusalem. And whatsoever shall seem good to thee and to thy brethren to do with the rest of the silver and gold, that do after the will of your Elohim. The vessels also that are given thee for the service of the house of thy Elohim, those deliver thou before the Elohim of Israel. And whatsoever more shall be needful for the house of thy Elohim, which thou shalt have occasion to bestow, bestow it out of the king's treasure house. And I, even I, Artaxerxes the king, do make a decree to all the treasurers which are beyond the river, that whatsoever Ezra the priest, the scribe of the law of the Elohim of heaven, shall require of you, it shall be done. It be done speedily. Unto 100 talents of silver, into 100 measures of wheat, into 100 baths of wine, into 100 baths of oil, and salt without prescribing how much. Whatsoever is commanded by the Elohim of heaven, let it be diligently done for the house of Elohim of heaven. For why should there be wrath against the realm of the king and his sons? Also we certify you that touching any of the priests and Levites, singers, porters, Nethinims, or ministers of the house of Elohim, it shall not be lawful to impose toll, tribute, or custom upon them. And thou, Ezra, after the wisdom of thy Elohim, that is in thine hand, set magistrates and judges, which may judge all the people that are beyond the river, all such as know the laws of thy Elohim, and to teach ye them that to know them not. And whosoever will not do the law of thy Elohim, and the law of the king, let judgment be executed speedily upon him, whether it be unto death, or to banishment, or to confiscation of goods, or to imprisonment. Blessed be the Jehovah, Elohim of our fathers, which hath put such a thing as this in the king's heart, to beautify the house of Jehovah, which is in Jerusalem, and hath extended mercy unto me before the king and his counselors, and before all the king's mighty princes. And I was strengthened as the hand of the Jehovah, my Elohim, was upon me, and I gathered together out of Israel chief men to go up with me. Wow, so it seems to be a complete turnaround, you know. They were once captives, and now Artaxerxes, or however you say his name, I'm just saying Artaxerxes, is saying, you know, don't give, basically, to sum it up, don't give these Jews a hard time. Help them with whatever they need. You know, help them with their, stuff, gold and treasures, putting in the house of the Lord. Help them with the cattle. Help them with, payment. And do not impose any restrictions on them or impose any taxes on them, stuff like that. So it's kind of crazy to see the turnaround, because we do know, basically, in the time when Jesus was born and during his time on earth, that the Jews were highly taxed, and they had Roman rule over them, and things like that. So they were really oppressed, and basically all through history they were. So this seems like a crazy time where it's like, do not touch them, or something like that, you know what I mean? So it's interesting so far. Can't wait to read more. But here's the reflection, daily promise, is Psalm 34:15. The eyes of Jehovah, or the Lord, are upon the righteous, and his ears are open unto their cry. Psalm 34:15. Here's the reflection, and I quote, God recognized us. Oftentimes we do not see any sign of God answering our petitions. Yet he hears our cries and deals with them specifically in his own way. Though we might not be constantly thinking of God, we are always in his thoughts as he hears our requests for help. End quote. Amen to that. That can definitely be applied to us today. The eyes of the Lord are upon the righteous, and his ears are open unto their cry. So the Lord listens to our cries, our pleas. So even though it may seem that God is being quiet, we can't hear him, we can't know his will, this person makes a good point. It's in his own way and his own time. So his time and his way is not our way, not our time. And yes, I even remind myself of that daily. It's in God's way, it's in God's time. Let thy will be done. I pray, thy will, Lord, not mine. Exactly what Jesus Christ said. Thy will, not mine. So that's very important for us to realize and to remind ourselves daily that it's not our will, but God's will for our life. So with that, let's pray. Dear Jehovah, our Elohim, our Abba, thank you so much for today. Thank you for our very lives and that we're alive. Thank you that we're able to read your word, and I pray you give us discernment so we can rightly divide your word of truth and keep all that we read in our hearts and our minds. Please speak to us through your word. Please help us be an example to others and bring others to you for your sake and for your glory. Help us stand up for what's right and help us be more bold. Please show us your will. Thy will be done. Let thy will be done in thy time. Show us your will and your path for our lives. Please show us what you will do in our lives. And I thank you again for all that you've done for us, all that you're doing, all that you will do. And I pray in Jesus Christ. Amen. So guys, thank you so much for watching, listening. I hope you have a good evening, morning, night, wherever you're at. And as always, TTFN, ta-ta for now. Take care. God bless. Remember to put God first in everything you do. All right. We'll see you tomorrow, God willingly, with more Ezra. Bye-bye.